Hey everybody, KC here. So I'm coming to you today from Los Angeles, where I'm at a Retail Tomorrow retail immersion that has been done by California Grocers Association and its member companies. And it's been really, really interesting. I'm actually sitting right now in the Iovine and Young Design Hall on the campus of USC. And we've had a really, really interesting morning. This is a really smart thing that CGA is doing, that Retail Tomorrow offers, because what happens is it gives people a chance to sort of step away from the day-to-day of the business and really take a day to think about tomorrow. And listen, tomorrow can be defined a lot of different ways. Tomorrow can be, as I'm recording this, it's Tuesday. Well, tomorrow could be Wednesday. But it also could be way, way, way down the line. And it seems to me there's a real enormous space between Wednesday and Star Trek, right? And that's a lot of space in which to operate, a lot of space in which to use your imagination and iterate and try to come up with ideas for what retail, specifically food retail, is going to look like in the future. So I'm really glad to be part of this. Mark Saccone, who runs the Retail Tomorrow initiative, invited me to be part of it, and I'm really grateful for that. Now listen, elements of what we've had conversations about today are going to pop up, I think, a lot on Morning Newsbeat in coming weeks, because it's really got me thinking. But let's start here. At one point there was a conversation about different ways that people and companies operate. That some companies are really good at managing only, and some companies and people are really good at envisioning, and other companies are really good at the enterprise, the actual doing, right, of a business. But not a lot of companies and not a lot of people are really, really good at all three. And the ones that are, well, those are leaders. And the part of the premise here was to help people to think about leading the way forward, as opposed to letting just other people figure out how to go forward. And one of the things we talked about is that, listen, it doesn't have to all be done at one time. Transitions are really important. One of the examples was given by one of the professors who was talking was that, listen, Blockbuster was a company that managed but never really envisioned. When you think about streaming companies, right, that was the goal. That was what happens when companies are able to get beyond managing and start to envisioning the future, as well as being able to develop the systems to make it work. But of course, we didn't make the jump from Blockbuster to Netflix, Amazon, Apple, and all the other streaming services. It wasn't one leap. You had something in the middle, and that was Netflix basically renting videos through the mail. It got people used to the idea of a change in systems, a change in their acquisition habits. And that kind of transition is really, really important. And Netflix always figured that it was only going to be in the mail order business for a period of time, and then it would eventually get out of it, and that's exactly what happened. Companies have to think not just about, when they think about the future, not just think about, oh man, we got to do this big thing. Sometimes you think about the little things, about the little, I always like to think of, listen, there's low-hanging fruit, and that's what you go after first. And sure, there's often an apple up on the top of the tree, and that's the one you really want, but you never get that one first. You want to get the low-hanging fruit first. That's really important. When you think about developing retail concepts for the future, right, you don't have to bite off more than you can chew. Sometimes you just have to try to chew just a little bit more, or you have to try to chew a little bit differently, or chew on things you've never chewed on before. You don't have to do the whole thing all at once. And the notion of chewing differently, and that's really important. It's a great metaphor, especially if you're in the food business. So like I said, there'll be more of this stuff that pops up in the next few weeks. I love this Retail Tomorrow stuff because it really affects the way I think. I come out of these things just totally, totally energized about what the future looks like and who the companies are and the people are that are going to make it happen down the road. Anyway, that's what's on my mind. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.